Loneliness is something all of us feel from time to time. When we have nobody to sit next to at lunch, when we move to a new city, or when nobody has time for us on the weekend. But over the last few decades, this occasional feeling has become chronic for millions of people. In the United Kingdom, 60% of people between the ages of 18 and 34 say they often feel lonely. In the United States, 46% of the entire population reports feeling lonely on a regular basis. We live in the most connected era in human history, and yet an overwhelming number of us feel isolated. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. You can feel completely fulfilled by yourself and still hate every second of being surrounded by friends. Loneliness is an entirely subjective, deeply personal experience. If you feel lonely, then you are lonely. A common stereotype is that loneliness only happens to people who do not know how to talk to others or behave socially. But population-based studies have shown that for adults, social skills make surprisingly little difference when it comes to meaningful connection. Loneliness can affect anyone. Money, fame, power, beauty, social intelligence, charisma. None of these can truly protect us from loneliness because loneliness is woven into our biology. Loneliness is a bodily function, much like hunger. Hunger forces you to pay attention to your physical needs. Loneliness forces you to pay attention to your social needs. Your body cares about your social needs because millions of years ago, they were directly tied to your chances of survival. Natural selection rewarded our ancestors for cooperating and forming bonds with one another. Our brains grew larger and became increasingly specialized in understanding what other people were thinking and feeling, and in building and maintaining social relationships. Being social became part of our biology. Humans evolved in groups of roughly 50 to 150 people, groups that you would usually remain with for your entire life. Getting enough food, staying safe and warm, or raising children was practically impossible alone. Survival depended on togetherness. To be alone often meant death. Because of this, getting along with others became essential. For your ancestors, the greatest threat to survival was not being eaten by a lion. It was being rejected by the group and cast out socially. To prevent this, your body developed something we might call social pain. Social pain is an evolutionary adaptation to rejection, an early warning system designed to stop you from behaving in ways that could isolate you from the tribe. That is why rejection hurts so deeply, and why loneliness can feel unbearable. For most of human history, these mechanisms worked remarkably well. But eventually, humans began building a completely new kind of world for themselves. The loneliness epidemic we see today truly began near the end of the Renaissance. Western culture gradually shifted its focus toward the individual. Intellectuals moved away from the collectivism of the Middle Ages, while new Protestant ideas emphasized personal responsibility and individual identity. This trend accelerated dramatically during the Industrial Revolution. People abandoned villages and rural communities to work in factories. Communities that had existed for centuries slowly began to dissolve as cities expanded. As the modern world developed, this pattern intensified even further. Today, people move enormous distances for work, education, or love, leaving their social networks behind. We meet fewer people face to face and spend less time with them than people once did. In the United States, the average number of close friends dropped from 3 in 1985 to 2 in 2011. Most people do not fall into chronic loneliness intentionally. It usually happens by accident. You grow up and become busy with work, university, relationships, children, responsibilities, and endless entertainment. There never seems to be enough time. The easiest thing to sacrifice becomes time with friends. Until one day, you wake up and realize that you feel isolated, that you miss deep, meaningful connection. But forming close relationships as an adult is difficult, and so loneliness slowly becomes chronic. Even though humanity feels incredibly advanced because of things like smartphones and space travel, Our bodies and minds are still fundamentally the same as they were 50,000 years ago. Biologically, we are still wired to be together. Large-scale studies have shown that the stress caused by chronic loneliness is one of the unhealthiest things humans can experience. It accelerates aging. It makes cancer more deadly. It causes Alzheimer's to progress faster. It weakens the immune system. Loneliness is twice as deadly as obesity and as harmful as smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. What makes loneliness especially dangerous is that once it becomes chronic, it can sustain itself. Physical pain and social pain rely on many of the same mechanisms inside the brain. Both are interpreted as threats, and because of this, social pain triggers immediate self-protective behaviors. When loneliness becomes chronic, your brain enters a defensive state. It begins to detect danger and hostility everywhere. But that is not all. Some studies suggest that lonely people become more sensitive and attentive to social signals, while simultaneously becoming worse at interpreting them correctly. You pay more attention to other people, but understand them less accurately. The part of the brain responsible for recognizing faces becomes distorted and more likely to interpret neutral expressions as hostile. This makes you distrustful of others. Loneliness causes you to assume the worst about people's intentions toward you. Because the world begins to feel threatening, you may become more self-focused in order to protect yourself. And this can unintentionally make you appear colder, less approachable, or socially awkward, even when that is not who you truly are. If loneliness has become a strong presence in your life, the first thing you can do is recognize the vicious cycle you may have fallen into. It often looks something like this. An initial feeling of isolation leads to sadness and tension. Those emotions make you focus selectively on negative social interactions. That changes the way you think about yourself and other people. Those thoughts begin to influence your behavior. You start avoiding social situations, and that avoidance creates even more isolation. Each time the cycle repeats, it becomes heavier and harder to escape. Loneliness makes you sit farther away from others in class, ignore phone calls from friends, decline invitations until the invitations stop coming altogether. Every one of us carries a story about who we are. And if your story becomes "people exclude me," others can begin to sense it too. Eventually, the outside world may start reflecting the way you already feel inside. This process is often slow and gradual. It can take years, and it can eventually lead to depression and a mental state that blocks connection, even when connection is exactly what you want. Every human being feels lonely at certain points in life. It is a universal human experience. You cannot simply eliminate or ignore a feeling until it magically disappears. But you can acknowledge it, understand it, and begin addressing the things that sustain it. You can start by examining what your attention focuses on. Are you selectively focusing on negative experiences? Was that interaction with a coworker truly negative, or was it actually neutral? Maybe even positive. Maybe someone was not rejecting you at all. Maybe they were simply busy. Then there are your assumptions about the world itself. Are you automatically assuming the worst about other people's intentions? Do you walk into social situations already convinced they will go badly? Do you assume people do not want you around? Are you trying to avoid getting hurt by refusing to open up to others? And if so, can you experiment with a different possibility? Can you assume that people are not against you? Can you risk being vulnerable again? Finally, there is behavior. Are you avoiding opportunities to be around other people? Are you inventing excuses to decline invitations? Are you pushing people away to protect yourself? Are you behaving as if you are under attack? Are you genuinely searching for connection, or have you quietly become comfortable with isolation? Of course, every person and every situation is different. Self-reflection alone may not always be enough. If you feel unable to improve your situation by yourself, reaching out for professional help can be incredibly important. That is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of courage. But none of the shiny things we have created can satisfy or replace our fundamental biological need for connection. Most animals get what they need from their environment. Humans get what they need from each other.